We're getting new information about the Navy Yard killer. Tonight, Aaron Alexis, former roommate, speaking from Fort Worth, Texas.
We lived together for 3 years from 3 different locations, 3 different addresses. I moved out, he moved out with me, and moved in with me. So it's a friend. He's my big brother. I mean, he teaches me a lot of stuff, so I admire him.
But Texas police records show Alexis has an arrest record. KDFW reporter Natalie Solis is live in Fort Worth with the very latest. Natalie, what's the story on his arrest record?
Right. Well, Greta, I can tell you that he was arrested September 4th, 2010. A woman told Fort Worth police that someone fired into her apartment. The bullet came in through the floor up to the ceiling. She just happened to be sitting there, saw the puff of smoke. Police went and talked to Aaron Alexis. He told them he'd been cooking and cleaning his gun at the same time, and his hands got a little slippery, and he accidentally discharged that weapon. Now, police did tell police, police did say that they saw the gun taken apart, that there was a cleaning kit next to it. But they did also talk to this woman, and she told police that she was terrified of him. She said that he'd recently confronted her in the parking lot of that apartment complex, and he said that she was making too much noise. She told police that she believed the whole thing was intentional. Now, the DA found that there was no recklessness, and so they did not file a case. And Greta, I should also mention that he did have his concealed handgun license.
Did he live with anyone down in Texas? Because he's not originally from Texas.
Exactly. He's not originally from Texas. As a matter of fact, he'd spent some time in Thailand, and he befriended a Thai family here that owned a Thai restaurant. We understand that he spoke Thai quite well. He liked to practice with that Thai family. They helped him out a lot. He lived with them for some time. He also helped out in their restaurant. He wasn't a paid employee, but he did work for tips. And we're also told that he was also taken in by a Buddhist temple, rather, and that the monks there really took him under their wing. So there were a lot of people in this community that helped him, befriended him, but he did have this specific interest in the Thai community.
So how did he make it here to D.C.? Was this just a part-time or new job, or had he severed his ties, do you know, with Texas?
Right, and that's one of the questions that we asked. As a matter of fact, I was told by a friend that he was last here at this Naval Air Station about 6 to 8 months ago, that he still had access here and they'd go shopping. And then the rest after that, according to these friends, is a little fuzzy. To their knowledge, he was working with this contractor, and it was that contractor that kind of had him moving around. But from what I've heard, he didn't have a lot of close contact with them, and so they were a little bit out of the loop as to what exactly all his movements were and how and why he ended up in D.C.
Natalie, thank you very much. And now On the Record takes you to Seattle, Washington, where Aaron Alexis also had a brush with the law. Q13 Fox News Seattle anchor David Rose joins us live with that part of the story. David, at some point he had some trouble up in your neck of the woods. What was it and when?
But when you look at his court records, 2 things really emerge. One, he was a horrible driver. He'd been ticketed for speeding. He even caused a wreck on a highway here. And 2, he had a temper, and he wasn't afraid to pull out a gun and express his rage. Seattle detectives arrested him here in 2004 after he was upset with some construction workers over some parking situation on a home they were working for. He went outside, pulled his gun from a waistband, according to the police report, and fired 3 shots into their tires, and then calmly walked back inside. Detectives couldn't find him for about a month, but when they did, he said that he thought that they were disrespecting him. And so it gives you an idea that he had a little bit of paranoia and that he went into a blind rage. He actually said that he blacked out and didn't remember pulling the trigger.
Was he charged with any crime, or did the police just sort of look the other way and say, fine, don't do it again?
So this is where it gets really murky, Greta, and I'm no lawyer, so perhaps you can provide some more insight into this. The police referred the case of malicious mischief to the city attorney's office. The city attorney says they never got the case. So then after a year, it was dismissed. He was originally going to be facing a couple of misdemeanors for damaging property. But the case was dismissed, and then the files, after a year, were just wiped away. So the trail has gone cold. We're not sure exactly what happened in that case. We're still trying to track that down tonight.
Well, it sounds like someone dropped the ball between the referring police and the prosecutor. Why was he in Seattle? Why was he living there?
He has some family here. We went by the house today, and family members that we think was his grandmother and his aunt were not willing to talk to us here. And so at the time, he was working for the Navy, and he was centered right here in Beacon Hill, a neighborhood of Seattle. We've not tracked down many people that knew him. I haven't talked to anybody yet that knew him personally. Family members were not willing to talk to the media today. And so far, we're still trying to put a picture together of just who this guy was.
Well, there's still a lot to learn about him. Thank you, David, very much.